Hello guys, welcome back to another video in our channel. Welcome to today's live stream. And there's actually a lot to talk about today, and that's what I really want to discuss in this live stream today. You can confirm if you're able to hear me well in the comment section area below, as we're going to do a a brief preview of Chelsea versus Manchester United. It's going to be a very interesting game. I've just finalized in watching Enzo Maresca's press conference regarding this game, and Maresca has had a lot to say, especially to with regards to Chelsea's game. And one thing that Maresca has talked about is that, to be honest, I'm focused here. It's difficult to judge when you are inside. So imagine when you are not there. Very difficult to understand the reason why Manchester United have been under very poor form. And Manchester United versus Chelsea is the most drawn match. Currently, it's around 27 games, all draws, and Chelsea have put themselves in a position where they must win the last two games of the season. These are must-win games because they are games that Chelsea have to win so that they can put up a statement, especially when it comes to trying to secure top four. Now, we are going to try and look at this. And let me first share my screen as we want to talk about Chelsea against Manchester United. Now, the last time Chelsea played Manchester United, actually, Chelsea went 2-0 up earlier on. Then after Chelsea going 2-0 up, Chelsea proceeded to go to concede 3 more goals. Again, it was the wishy-washy Pochettino ball. Chelsea conceded 3 more goals, and now the goal deficit increased, and it was a point where Chelsea were actually having 2-3 towards minute 99, and minute 100 Chelsea win the game 4-3. It was such a dramatic game. A hat-trick for Cole Palmer, a goal by Conor Gallagher, and needless goals that we conceded that we shouldn't have conceded. But again, it was one win over Manchester United. The last time we had beaten Manchester United since then was back when Antonio Conte beat Manchester United 4-0 at Stamford Bridge. So it has been a while since Chelsea beat Manchester United. But last season, Chelsea managed to break the curse. Chelsea managed to beat Manchester United. And this season in particular, Chelsea need that win over Manchester United more than anything. And I know when you look at the Premier League table might actually show you something that is way different from what you expect. And why is it so? Because just because all the other teams are beating Manchester United, it's not something that every Chelsea fan should go into the game expecting that Chelsea should wipe the floor with Manchester United. Because let's just look at the form of Manchester United. And when you look at the form of Manchester United, 4 losses, 1 draw, 39 points, just around 17 points ahead of the relegation side. And you can see clearly it's because the 3 relegated teams were so poor that these 2 actually never got relegated. But don't be lied. Don't let the form lie to you, because there's this thing about Chelsea that scares me a lot. If it was another club, if it was Liverpool, if it was Manchester City, they would get this game over and done with. But you have this Chelsea thing. You have this Chelsea thing of always giving these teams form. A team loses a lot of games, then they play Chelsea, then they win. A team is playing so poorly, then they play Chelsea, all of a sudden they gain their form. So we don't want that. It is good to maintain Manchester United's record in the Premier League by getting that win and having to push them now to play their final game at home against Aston Villa, where I think Manchester United might turn up for that game, as it will be their last game of the season. But to me, this is a banana skin game. The Newcastle game, as far as it's concerned, the red card really ruined the game, because I think if probably we had 11 men, we would have scored a goal. I don't know if we would have won the game, but we would have scored a goal. But in this Manchester United game, scoring quickly will be very good, because if you allow them to score earlier on, then it's just going to be bad. But if you score like 3 goals or 2 goals in the first half, then now you maintain the pressure, you maintain the pressure, you maintain the pressure, and then you beat them. But again, we don't know what Chelsea is going to turn up. We don't know if it is the Chelsea that turned up in the first half against Newcastle that is going to turn up. You see, the pressure that is also on these young players is that, can they actually deliver in these kinds of moments? Can these young players secure the necessary win for Chelsea? They did it against Liverpool, against Newcastle, a simple slip, and we are already 1-0 down in the second minute of the game. And now this comes where character is. This is a team that has lost a lot of games this season. This is a team that we have not taken points from this season. This is a team that we have drawn a lot of games to. A lot of games to. And on paper, the way we play, our position in the table dictates that we should beat Manchester United. But again, is anybody here confident? You see, the thing with Chelsea is that we should have beaten Brentford. Did we beat Brentford? No. We should have beaten Ipswich. Did we beat Ipswich? No. So these kinds of results are what demoralizes us Chelsea fans. And as I've said, and as I said in my previous video, that Chelsea will heavily rely on Aston Villa losing their games to secure top 4, because yeah, so Chelsea have to rely on Spurs. I hate to say this, but if Spurs win against Aston Villa, I would really be happy. But again, if we win against Manchester United and Spurs beat Aston Villa, then top 4 might be secured tomorrow night. So the Aston Villa game against Tottenham is going to be very, very crucial. Very crucial. As Tottenham will be at home, Aston Villa will be at away. And if Tottenham can get a win over Aston Villa, that will be very good for Chelsea, because when you look at the goal difference, what do you notice? What do you notice about Chelsea's goal difference? Chelsea have a 19 goal difference over Aston Villa's 7. So if Chelsea get a win today and Aston Villa lose, then automatically Aston Villa are edged out by Chelsea into the top 5 race. Chelsea automatically edge out Aston Villa. If Nottingham Forest also fails to win tomorrow and Chelsea wins, then it doesn't matter whatever happens in the last game of the season, Chelsea would have qualified for the Champions League. So, but how do you do this? You just have to win this game. We have put ourselves in this position. I really hoped that we would have taken points over Newcastle, probably get 1 point. 1 point would have been enough. A draw would have been good, because if we got a draw, we would have had 64 points, and Newcastle would have also had 64 points, and we would have still had, they would be just 1 goal ahead of us, meaning that we could just be close to just a goal to eclipse them. But now what we have done is that we have put Newcastle in a strong position, and they are looking more likely to finish in the top 4. But again, Newcastle are playing Arsenal, another tough game, because if Arsenal get the victory and Chelsea manage probably to win 3-0, then again, Chelsea are closing the gap on Newcastle. But again, I do not want to focus on the other teams. I just have to focus on these teams. You win the next 2 games, you're in the Champions League. Will Chelsea players sustain the pressure? What type of Manchester United is going to show up? Is the Manchester United that was revitalized in the Europa League be the one that will show up tomorrow night? Are we going to see a stronger Manchester United? Is Mason Mount going to actually be the one to score the goal that sends Chelsea into the Europa League? See, there's a lot of questions. There is a lot of questions. So, yeah, also another thing that we can talk about is the red card. And the red card really destroyed everything for Chelsea, because these are the games where you need players like Jackson. But now we have to rely on Tyreek George, because Sancho also cannot play in this game. So most likely we are going to see Tyreek George starting as the number 9. And when Tyreek George starts there, what do you expect? So you have Tyreek George as the number 9. You're going to have Caicedo and Lavia. And is the attack going to be fluid? Is the attack going to be dynamic? Are Chelsea going to capitalize on their chances? If you probably get a 4-0 win, that's a statement victory. You increase your overall goal difference. You increase your goal difference. If Chelsea can turn up and really turn up like the Chelsea that we had in the first half of the season and probably put 5 past Manchester United, then automatically you have a better goal difference. And if Arsenal beat Newcastle, then now you have even eclipsed Newcastle and you have eclipsed Manchester City for the night before they play their game. And you hope that probably Spurs can do you a favor and take points from Aston Villa, and probably Nottingham Forest can also drop points. But the top 4, do not be surprised, the top 4 might be sealed tomorrow. Tomorrow, the top 4 might be sealed, because if Chelsea lose tomorrow and Aston Villa win, then Aston Villa go into the final game of the season ahead, and Aston Villa will have to go and take all the points at Old Trafford. And them taking all the points at Old Trafford will secure them the much needed top 5. So it's not yet over, but again, as Maresca has said in his press conference, everything is in Chelsea's hands. Chelsea are currently in the pole position. They are already in the safe area. Now they just have to win your games. Win your next 2 games, relax, then go and play the Conference League. There's also some things that have popped up with regards to how Chelsea have been. And when you look at this, Tottenham away at Aston Villa, do we think Tottenham can actually get a win away at Aston Villa? Because Tottenham have also been so poor. The only way we can get away with the defeat tomorrow is if Aston Villa lose, Nottingham Forest draw, Chelsea lose. Then all of a sudden, we are still in the top 5. Now we have to go in the last game of the season to win, beat Nottingham Forest at home. And pray that Manchester United take points from Aston Villa. So all this could have been avoided by winning against Ipswich and Brentford. You beat Ipswich, you beat Brentford, you're not in this position, because those are 4 points. 4 points plus 63 points. Those are 67 points. 67 points. You are well above, you are closer to Arsenal. You are closer to Arsenal. And if, in that case also, you win this game, you are 70 points. You are clear in the top 4. We have really put ourselves in a very dangerous situation when it comes to Chelsea Football Club. We are in a very dangerous situation. And then I want to speak on something again. We also understand that we might find ourselves, because the Manchester United game last season, we won it at home. Last season we beat Manchester United at home, so the players can beat Manchester United at home. But what do we need? What do we need to beat Manchester United at home? First of all, we need to score goals, and that's something that we have not been good at. But also looking at it, we've had a very good home form. Like this season, in the second leg from 2025, I think we've just won 1 away game. I think our away form is what has contributed to us being in this position. But at home, we've only lost 2 games at home this season. The game against Fulham and the first game of the season against Manchester City. So most likely, this is a game that the minimum points you can get is a draw. Is a draw good enough? No, a draw is not good enough, because a draw can only be good enough if Aston Villa lose. But we cannot rely on Tottenham to beat Aston Villa at home, because Tottenham are so poor, Aston Villa are so good, and Aston Villa, I think, are going to get the 3 points over Tottenham. So what we expect in this game is that Chelsea need to get the win. If Chelsea get the win, then, and we surprisingly Tottenham beats Aston Villa, then Tottenham beats Aston Villa, and then you notice that Nottingham Forest have also dropped points. Like, for example, if Nottingham Forest, who are playing, they have 62 points, they will be playing West Ham away. Wow, that's a tough game. So if Nottingham Forest, who are playing West Ham away, drop points to West Ham, draw with West Ham, they have 63 points. If Tottenham manages to get an unexpected win over Aston Villa, then Aston Villa remain with 63 points. And what happens when Aston Villa remains with 63 points and Chelsea beat Manchester United? Top five will be sealed. It will be, no matter what happens in the last game of the season, Chelsea have qualified, because Chelsea will have over 15 goal difference over Aston Villa. So Aston Villa will have to score over 13 goals in the next game so that they can enter into the top four, which is nearly impossible. They can't score those number of goals at Old Trafford. Yes, we have to win the remaining games. Yes, but we also need favors. Because there's one thing about this Chelsea side. As much as I want us to win the next games, there's one thing about this Chelsea team, and you can't have it. They need favors. You need favors from other teams. You need favors from Manchester United. You need favors from Tottenham. You need favors from Arsenal, because we are the only ones who are in a dangerous position, because Manchester City are playing. Who is Manchester City playing? Manchester City will be playing Fulham away. Wow. It's going to be tough, bro. If Fulham manage to get a win over Manchester City, then probably if Chelsea win, I'm telling you, if Aston Villa win, and Nottingham Forest win, then Fulham beat Manchester City, then it's now Manchester City who are out of the top 5. And if Manchester City are now out of the top 5, then it's going to be very, very tough in the last running of games. That means teams like Chelsea have to win, because if Manchester City win, they go a point ahead of you. So it's really tough. We should sign Victor Osimhen. We cannot talk about signings again, because again, the Champions League dictates how players behave towards you. You see, you cannot present the Conference League to a player, because if Chelsea want to sign a good striker, they need the Champions League. If Chelsea have the Champions League, now they can tell the striker, we were in this position, we finished 12th, we went ahead and finished 6th, we went ahead and finished 4th. Now we are in the Champions League. Our aim next season is to challenge for the league, to challenge for the Champions League. We have built a core. We have built a team. We are now looking for you as an extra piece that can take us to the next level. That's how you convince a player to come to the club. So the Champions League will also factor in what we're going to do in the transfer window. Remember, we have teams like Manchester United and Spurs who have the opportunity to get into the Champions League. And if Manchester United get into the Champions League, they can actually even pick Victor Osimhen. So it's a difficult position to find yourself in, but it's a position where we put ourselves in this position. Let me look at the matches for Newcastle. Newcastle will be away to Arsenal, and this is a game that I think Arsenal are going to win. So we may find ourselves in a situation where this is taken all the way to the goal difference, because, for example, if Chelsea get a 3-0 win over Manchester United, then Arsenal get a 2-0 win over Newcastle. Then now Chelsea are ahead of Newcastle because of goal difference. If Aston Villa beat Spurs, which I think they are going to do it, then Aston Villa are behind Newcastle because of goal difference. And if Manchester City draws to Fulham away, then Manchester City are behind Aston Villa, 1 point behind Aston Villa. And if Nottingham Forest also draw away, then now Nottingham Forest are again just 1 point behind Manchester City. And it's going to be very, very tight, because now it's going to mean that Chelsea is more likely to move to Newcastle's position. Then the 4th position is more likely to be taken by Newcastle. Then the 5th position is more likely to be taken by Aston Villa. Then the 6th position is more likely to be taken by Manchester City. Then the 7th position will be taken by Nottingham Forest. That is also another another trick where now the other three teams will have to win their last game of the season. Aston Villa will be going away to Manchester United, tough game. Chelsea will be going away to Nottingham Forest, who will be looking that if we beat Chelsea, then we can get 7 points and we can actually beat Chelsea and go ahead of them. It's going to put a lot of pressure to Nottingham Forest. Chelsea will just need to take a draw in that game to secure top 4. Manchester City, on the other hand, will need to win. And if Manchester City win, then they have 68 points. Then they move above Chelsea. They move above Chelsea and Newcastle. Who are Newcastle playing in the last game of the season? Let me just check. They'll be playing Everton at home. Everton is also a very tough team to play against. So at the end of the day, the Manchester United game is a must win for Chelsea. Must win for Chelsea. But I'm really skeptical. I'm really skeptical about this game because which Chelsea is going to turn up? Which Chelsea is it? Are we going to find the Chelsea that can actually win? Because looking at this thing here, they have put a win probability for Chelsea to be 71%. And I hate this thing because you get this win probability and then you get disappointed. I am telling this a lot of Chelsea fans. Do not get overexcited. Do not get overexcited. Do not brush Manchester United off. Because we've been here before. A lot of games we've drawn to Manchester United that we should have won, but we didn't win. So do not brush off Manchester United. Approach them with a lot of respect. Approach them with a lot of caution. Defend well. Play well. This is not a game to joke about. You are at home. You'll have the fans behind you. You really need to get these 3 points. I don't care if we win 1-0, it's okay. If we win 2-0, it's okay. If we win 3-4, it's okay. We need those 3 points. We need to be very sound. We know players like Mason Mount. We know that thing. Players like Mason Mount can turn up in this game. Players like Bruno Fernandes can turn up in this game. It's just that Chelsea thing that comes up with these kinds of games. So we need a good performance from Cole Palmer. I know they're going to try and shut him out. We need Fernandes to be making those late runs inside the box. And we also need our wingers to be so proactive. We need players like Noni Madueke and Neto. Attempt a lot of shots on target. Please, this is Andre Onana. Do not be scared to have shots. I'm saying this to Chelsea players. This is Andre Onana. Do not be afraid to have shots. When you're in a position to shoot. It can be deflected. Onana can make something clueless out of it. So attempt shots. If you're Palmer, attempt shots from outside. If you're Neto, attempt shots. Noni Madueke, attempt powerful shots. Do not be afraid. You can get the kinds of shots that you want. So this is what I'm saying. We need to attempt shots. We need to be very disciplined. We need to control that game from minute 1 to minute 90. And let's not put ourselves in a position where it is the final 85 minutes of the game and we are 2-1 up. And then we now have to suffer for 10 minutes because now Manchester United are looking for that draw. So, in my opinion, finish the game in the first half. Put your all. Attack the box with pace. Shoot. Attempt shots on goal. You go 3-0 up in the first half. All is good. You come back in the second half. No need to attack. Maintain your position when you get the ball. Control the game. Look to take out some sting out of the game and try to at least dominate the game and get something out of this game. Because the only way Chelsea can do it is winning this game. I'm telling you, this game might actually be the game that secures Chelsea the Champions League. I've told you this. This might be the game that secures Chelsea the Champions League. This is the most important game. I'm not even talking about the Nottingham Forest game. The Nottingham Forest game, we can actually get the top 4 if we don't just lose away at Nottingham Forest. If we avoid defeat at Nottingham Forest, we can just get it. So we need this. This is our last home game of the season. The last game we are playing in front of our fans. Let's give the fans something to appreciate this season. The players need to give the fans something. Maresca has talked about it. Maresca said that he doesn't know what is happening at Manchester United. It's going to be a tough game. Do not underestimate them. And hopefully we are able to secure this win. And any of you who has a comment would like to share anything with regards to this game, I'd really appreciate you to actually use the comment section area, and the tactical analysis and the pre-match lineup are going to drop today in the evening. Thank you, guys. It's been a pleasure to do this analysis with you, and we are really, really looking forward. So, what is my prediction? I'm going to go with that 3-1 Chelsea. I'm going to go with a 3-1 Chelsea. Yes, we will concede a goal, but I think we will score more goals because they will give us many chances. We shouldn't have been here in the first place. We shouldn't have been here in the first place. Maresca, just play your strongest team against Brentford. Just take Ipswich Town seriously. We wouldn't have been in this problem. Thank you, guys. See you in the next video, and I hope we are able to get the much needed win tomorrow. Bye.